This is one of the best story games of all time, and in this video I'm playing the entire thing from start to finish while you listen and fall asleep. This is What Remains of Edith Finch, and I'm MadMorph. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome home. Go ahead and doze against that like and subscribe button to join the channel. And let's get started. This is my series where I play games to help you fall asleep, and this one is a little bit different. It's a story game with voice acting, so mine won't be the only voice you hear, and I'll be being quiet during those scenes to let you enjoy them, and we'll talk about them after. This game is truly special, and I wanted to replay it, so I'm doing it as part of this series. If you'd like more free sleepy content from me, you can find my podcast Down to Sleep on YouTube, Spotify, and everywhere you get podcasts. It's where I read books, and you can even get some of these gaming episodes there as audio versions, and even find some of my audiobooks on Audible. Find all of the links that you need in the description or at downtosleeppodcast.com. And now, let's tuck you in. Take a nice deep breath for me, and let's get down to sleep with What Remains of Edith Finch. What Remains of Edith Finch? I think it must be so fun to be a person that pronounces WHs like hua, you know? White, what, whom. I guess we all do whom that way. Anyway. What Remains of Edith Finch? Here we are, on a boat. On the water. Don't know if I would be facing backwards. Might make one feel unwell, like going on a train. I always like to be facing in the direction that I'm travelling. Can't remember the last time I was on a boat or a ferry. Remember I did go on one to go to Edith Finch, a book. I got a little hurty hand.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Okay. The house. As I was saying, I think the last ferry I can remember being on was actually going to Amsterdam as a child, to be in a music video.
My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up.
Ominous. What's the dates on this? 2003 went missing. Date of birth, 1992.
Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
Well, whoever hopped it last made a mess. Things bent like Magneto's had a go at it. Let's have a wander, shall we? Take my hand.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
That is a crazy looking building. That's where we're headed, to find out all about the Finch family. When you dream, where is your dream? Like, if you've moved house, what's the house that you're in when you dream? Is it your current house? Is it somewhere you've lived before? Or is it the house that you grew up in? Because every time I have a dream, my house is the, main family house that I grew up in. From, 12 to 20 something. What have we got here? This is a cute little mailbox.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Oh, I suppose those are quite long overdue. I like our sleeves. Got the kind of grunge look going on.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
I used to be a grunger. Some say I still am. Never leaves you, you know. Hey, listen to this lovely ambience.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
Secret key.
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Is this a off. Can we pick what direction we're going in? Let's go the scenic route. Look at this, absolutely beautiful. Looking at a sort of heading into a woodland area. It's all kind of shaded over with a canopy. Beautiful trees, which some of them are quite bare, but others are really green, and a couple of autumny ones. Quite nice.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it.
We inherited this?
But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
It'd make a pretty kooky Airbnb, I have to say.
The woods
babe.
around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something, but never do.
Such beautiful writing. This game still looks amazing for how
The
old
house
it
was
is.
exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Look at that. Little basketball hoop. I used to play basketball every single day when I was in high school. Break and lunch. It's such a cool house. It's very fantastical, the kind of vibe of this architecture, isn't it? What would you even call this?
As
What
a
does it remind you
child,
of?
The house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Oh. I wonder if they were inspired by Hill House. This people who ever made it, because Hill House is... The house is what's the thing, you know? It's not like the ghosts inside, it's the house itself. And that sounded very much like lines exactly from Hill House. Because I'm reading that book at the moment on the podcast. Can we go through the dolly flap?
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Was I supposed to go to the front door first? Oh, I can't go out now.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
We're on our own adventure, it's fine. But yeah, I rewatched Hill House, and then I've been reading it on Patreon. That's been great. Grain Glow Wood Skinner. Man, imagine working with wood. Stuff where people make things and crafty things, so impressive, I think. Even like gardening, we're looking at potting mix here in a large garage. Always great. What's the tennis ball for? Is that like a height thing? So you don't... So you know... Why do you have a tennis ball on a string hanging from the sky? I don't drive, so I don't understand. I like that this
For the first time in years,
I like that it lets you take your own route. Look, coat hooks. Edie, Dawn, Lewis, Milton, Edith.
I felt like I was home.
They knew how to pick kooky names, this family.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Here's a picture of them. Edith, Edie, Dawn, Lewis. In loving memory of Lewis Finch. 2010. So that's when everyone left here. Some cookbooks. The place, they left it in quite a mess. There's a lot of dishes piled up. I mean, who even owns this many plates? That's insane to begin with, first of all. Chinese food on the side, tins of tuna, and a cookbook.
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
I mean, I talked about it in a recent video, but I get some meals delivered sometimes, and I was like, I'm just going to have poke bowl all week. And by the 4th day of having salmon poke bowl, I was absolutely sick of it. So I feel for you, kid.
Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
I had the worst Chinese I've ever had in my life recently. It was awful. I threw most of it away. And I don't eat Chinese very often, so it's very sad.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Well, barely spared. There's furniture everywhere, wine bottles on the table, more Chinese food, noodle boxes. Pictures on the wall. What's this?
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Pamphlet next to a wheelchair by the table. Free Willy, a poster on the wall. It's actually a photo of oil. Public market. Is this the sign at Pike Place? Is that not the Seattle, like, fish market? This could be in Seattle, actually, with the weather outside, couldn't it? I do like to snoop and just look around when I'm in games like this. You know. Very lucky that this game doesn't let me open cupboards and look inside, or I'd be here for hours, because I love a good snoop.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Yeah, this room could do with the refurbing. Lovely table, though, made out of a tree trunk. Lots of books. Essentially a library right here. Hey, look, we just had Halloween. How perfect. This was meant to be a playthrough for Halloween, but I got busy with other stuff, so now it's a November playthrough. How fitting that would have been. See what some of these books are. Labyrinths, Weird Recipes, The Nordic Cookbook, Raw Fowl, Saltwater Yeast, Fanny Farmer, what? Junior Cookbook, The Sublime Supper. It's all cookbooks. Okay, where can we go? Down into the basement?
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Ah, we're working out what the key is for. Gotcha. And then this loops back around to the kitchen. Okay. We'll save that music box.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Why did we all leave so suddenly? Maybe there's a reason. Like, I can remember bits and pieces of this and stories, but I can't remember why we left in such a rush.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
What's in here?
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Looking through a peephole into a library room. Let's go upstairs.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Why? It's a bit creepy. Well, what are you doing that for?
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
An artiste. So the doors are all locked, and on the doors we have people's names and the dates that they lived from and to, but we can't open them up.
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
While he was dead?
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
That's one of those funny things, isn't it? Is you really only have your experience as a kid, as a grown-up, whatever you're doing in life, you only have your experience. But certainly growing up, your family traditions and the way things are done in your home, you can only assume that that's the way things are done. And people are different. So every home's going to be different. There's going to be different things about it and stuff that could be very odd that you think, oh, this is just how it is. Do you have any traditions like that?
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Barbara Finch, my friend Bigfoot. Introducing Barbara Finch. She was a child star. Photo of her on the set. This place is cluttered as. There's Barbara's room. Let's have a peep.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Oh. Sad. Must be a very difficult experience for anyone as a child star to have attention and the kind of intoxication of fame and all of that silliness that comes with it. To have it snatched away before you've developed to understand why or how.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
It is in fact something I think there should be a lot more regulation on, especially for social media and YouTube.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Okay, so we've got all the rooms and a key. Oh, we've got one that's open. Let's head on in.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Great Uncle Walter's room. We've got the wall, instead of wallpaper, it's a literal, like a mural, a painting of sharks in a house under the water. Some, looks like a whale shark and some fish. And a train painted on the wall.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Let me put the key into a padlock on a book of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
And it's a secret
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
compartment. Here we are, into a crawl space with a little tea party. Would you like a cup of tea, darling? How do you take it? Milk, no sugar. Thank you very much. Oat milk,
From
actually.
the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Okay.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan.
Bar. There's me. There's my cameo. There's a bear in every slightly spooky game ever made. You can always find a teddy bear in a horror game. This isn't a horror, but you can always find
But I
one.
had no idea what was behind that door.
Forever.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Into a bedroom. Cute little room. Molly's room.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
So when the family members pass, they seal their room up and no one's allowed in anymore and it's left just the way they had it?
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
I had gerbils. Mount Rainier National Park. Okay, so we are up Seattle way. Because I've been up Mount Rainier. How funny. More books. And
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here. Before my mom sealed the doors.
ah. And this must be Molly. 1947, the calendar says. I can't even imagine them having calendars in 1947 on the wall with pictures. I don't know why. That seems kind of crazy. I'm sure they did. And she's been cutting up a starfish. That feels kind of cruel. She's got loads of bugs and stuff as well. Let's open her diary.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
And now we're Molly, back in time, looking for a snack.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Old carrot.
My Halloween candy was all gone.
What else can you munch on, kiddo? Not your fish, surely.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Well, that's good of you. Lucky for Christopher. It's snowing outside. What a cute little nightlight. It's like a hot air balloon. That's adorable.
I kept eating and eating.
Eating toothpaste? That's not the way.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Eating the berries off of some holly that's there, I guess, for Christmas. That's a bad idea.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
It's so cute. I can so remember the first time playing this being like, what? We're a cat? What's going on right now? Chasing after the bird. Where do you want to go?
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
The lights on the tree are so cute.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
Very high up.
I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
You ever have dreams where you're flying? They feel so crazy.
Rabbits.
Looking for food.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Quite the imagination you have, kiddo. Something bigger.
A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Another absolutely insane moment.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Imagine being the guy in that car that we just flew by.
I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good. I grabbed on tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Now we're a tentacle. Like a kraken. Slithering.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Just a hungry girl. She's looking for some girl dinner. Nothing wrong with that.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Sneaking in. It'd be so scary to live at sea. Like be away for a long time on a boat. Graphics are still so good.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
What is that?
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Careful you don't meet a clown down here. Up out of the toilet.
I got closer and closer. All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Amazing voice acting, that segment, for a kid. Such a great little ending, that.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
It's really got the, you feel like you're getting a little, like an anthology of creepy stories, you know? Molly, 37 to 47, so she was 10. But what actually happened? Oh, we're sneaking out. I wasn't done looking. So I think the implication might be that the berries, that she was poisoned and maybe died in her sleep, and that was her sort of dream or nightmare.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Oh, that's cute. Feels like the right season to play this. Just something about her arms
I spent a
are
lot
so
of time
cozy.
in Great Grandma Edie's room.
Looks like Edie loved birds. And they all had different names. There's Rob, Lurpy. Oh, and she has a picture of the bird after it's passed in the cage. Purpley. Bob. Burpy. No name on that one. Derpy. Is there a Slurpee here somewhere?
We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom.
Hide from your mum?
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Her room was like a museum.
Ah, I think that's the book thing. So she would, like, memorialize people, seems to be what she was obsessed with. You've got handprints on the wall. She would paint people. She would...
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Oh, that's what we're wearing, her gloves. That's so cute. That she knitted.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Tapes.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
She has a mixture of home movies, and then she has My Friend Bigfoot, which was Barbara's movie, and Edith's Lake Trip. I miss VHSs. I don't know if what it is about a tape, or if it's just purely nostalgia, because that's what I grew up with, but they feel more special than a DVD or a Blu-ray.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Uncle Sven, I'm here going to build a big dragon. Uh-oh. The slide collapsed on me. That's my Scandinavian accent. You're welcome.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Happy 90th birthday to me, darling. Yes.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
72-year-old woman refuses to evacuate. Built 1937 by Sven Finch. Okay. 90's so long.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
Oh, we're Norwegian.
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
His house. He brought the house from Norway. I had forgotten how fantastical this story was.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island.
Oh, so the house didn't make it.
Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
And then Sven built the new house. I see. Crazy. How do I put this down? These old vision finder things with the slides
Whatever's wrong with this family,
crazy.
It goes back a long ways.
I wish it wouldn't remember that it has all the people in the book from when I've played it before. Can I look in that one? Or are we on the inside? That was his quick little story. Oh. Carpeted bathroom. What the heck? That's not a good idea. It's gonna get so mildewy. Moldy.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Stinker. A pink
It was a
bathroom?
pretty big trace.
It's not even a nice pink is the problem. There's a secret in this bathroom by Sven and EDITH FINCH. Okay.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look.
Oh my god, this
It
is so
isn't in the
satisfying.
cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Used to love books that had that little things you pull on and pop-up books. Used to get me giddy.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
What a nerd. So now we're in a little secret dark room with pictures. A swing. Photo of someone in camo. Milton. In the boys' room.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin.
That must
but
be
he never
crazy.
talked about him.
Having a twin is insane. I don't have one. I'm saying I can imagine how having one must be bizarre. Absolutely bizarre if you're a twin. What if you're a twin watching this for some reason? Not that twins shouldn't be. You're welcome. You know, I'm just saying the possibility of it being is small. But if you are a twin, what's the weirdest twin thing that you experienced? Let us know in a comment. Because I find that stuff fascinating. Command Center, what a cool room.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Okay. Calvin, 1950 to 1961, so he was 11. We're getting some quick maths going. I mean, you know, I was done with school a long time ago precisely so I would never really have to do maths again. What they don't tell you is that it crops up fairly often in life, you know? You know, those times you're in school and you're like, why do I even need to know this? Because how often am I even going to use this? Like, maths is probably the one that comes up the most, you know? Depending on what you go into, but just in general life, arithmetic, it's not going anywhere. Unfortunately. Because I'm terrible at it.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin, I'm not going to tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up,
Going very high.
then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Wow. I love that scene so much. One of the best.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
It's almost like that is such a great twist on something that everyone's thought. I feel like every kid's been like, imagine if you could go all the way around. Or tried to just swing as high as they can, you know. That age when you feel like nothing could go wrong and you're invincible. Do kids even go on swings anymore? Probably when you're little, but I mean, we would still go on swings until, you know, quite old. Like, swings were great. Who didn't love a swing, right? I wonder if kids even go to the park now. In my day. Okay.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
So it seems like that story, if we're thinking we're going to like analyze what actually happened to each person, is he was swinging and came off and went over the cliff whilst trying to swing high, sadly. It's really sad when you think about it. I mean, there's, you know, 11 years old. But everything's like got this fantasy element to it, the way it's being remembered and talked about poetically. Fort Sam. So
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
So one twin was into space. The other twin was into army stuff. Okay. Oh my god, the cutest little caterpillar book thing. All these little contraptions. Surprised no one's made this into a movie, honestly. Such a fantastic
The
collection.
passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
It's a way, but we can keep going.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Barbara's room. Awards. There was even a doll. It's like a museum in here.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
For sure. I would absolutely watch My Friend Bigfoot. That sounds great, though. You guys like Harry and the Hendersons? I still quote that to this day. Probably like once every couple of weeks, I do the "Get out of here, we don't want you no more" from Harry and the Hendersons. I don't know why, that's just like a stim that's been in my brain since I was a child. You gotta go home.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Dreadful Stories, guest starring Barbara Finch. It's time for a spooky tale.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent. She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Walter, are you there? Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. too old he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet. The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box was all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Poor Barbara.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
So I guess the real story there is that is a sensationalized comic kind of, on the death of a child actor. And then probably is what happened is it was the boyfriend, right? And then he disappeared. Would kind of be my guess. Unless he was the guy with the hook and was, and then she hit him and he died or something. And she had to, run away, but I don't know. I guess that's a happier ending, to think she did that and then cut her own ear off like Van Gogh. Creepy. That's definitely the creepiest story in the game. Always remember that one. It stays with you. It's a shocking one.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Mm-hmm. Well, now we know how to open it, though. Or rooms. I'm going to start a channel that's me doing that voice. A creepy tale for you to fall asleep to. And then laughing manically every so often. Where was that music box? Yeah. Turn it till it pops. I mean, the comic had that much right. How did it know that? That's kind of creepy. There's probably loads of theories on these, so let me know actually if there are. What is the theory on each person? This is where she came down to. And the saw that got Sven.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
Open. Open?
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
The fridge is a secret passage.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Yeah, it's really a tale of dealing with grief and trauma in some ways, isn't it? So Walter, who experienced that as a kid and hiding under the bed, as an adult had to take it a step further and hid under the house in a secret bunker filled with food, stored so he would never have to come out. And he was the Mole Man. 1952 to 2005. It's just a picture of the outside on the wall to make it look like he had a view of potentially Mount Rainier. How sad.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
30 years.
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week.
$1968.
But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
76. It's really cool how the music is changing to show the changing era on his radio.
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
So what happened there with... He's been getting postcards from everyone whilst down here. And then wasn't 2005, wasn't that when everyone left? So what was the monster? What was keeping him down here?
I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin.
So the curse
Maybe
is the
this
monster.
is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one real day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Didn't even get a day.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
So like Final Destination, he locked himself away to avoid the family curse. And the rumbles with the train. And then one day he wasn't afraid anymore and
I'm
he
sure
left.
my mom was trying to protect me.
And he got hit by the train. Tragic.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
It would be cool to have a tunnel under your house, but imagine if you don't check on it all the time. How long would it take before you got paranoid that somebody else was living down there? I'm just kind of glad that actually in the UK we don't have basements, because I find basements and the thought of them to be terrifying.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
This was his own little rubbish dump.
Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2,
Hello?
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself. And found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Self-fulfilling prophecy. The train tracks broken.
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
Beautiful view.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
I mean, family history is very interesting, and it's not something you care about at all till you're older. And whenever you reach that time, you're really thankful to whichever member it is of your family, if you're lucky enough to have had one, that bothered to keep some kind of record, you know. More than just a photo album, you know. For me, it was my grandma. She was the one that did the family tree. And even wrote a memoir of her life. And that has a lot of the stuff about the family and her experiences in it. And actually, funnily enough, playing this game, I've been reading it this year. For the first time. And it's fascinating to have an insight into the life of someone that you knew your whole life and loved, but never knew before what you were here, you know? Before they were a parent even themselves, let alone grandma, you know? These lives, it's like they say, you'll never know your parents before they had you, the version of them that existed before you, because it changes so much. And I'm so grateful that she wrote that, and to know about the family and the family tree, it adds so much. But when you're young, you kind of just don't really sweat it too much. It's definitely something that can make a difference later on. So I think she's doing the right thing by writing this down. Are we going out into the water? There's something out there. What is it? I guess I was supposed to go up here. I was just wandering out into the ocean. That would have been an interesting ending. That would have been. So, you know, it's important to keep some kind of record, which isn't really something we do.
To be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
These days, do we? People barely even keep their pictures anymore.
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
That's what gives a story its
Look at
power.
the house. That history of imagination and stubbornness and madness. Any of it seems possible.
Nighttime. Just had a firework outside. It's fireworks night.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
Memento mori, baby.
What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Tim Burton.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
Oh,
3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
it's okay. Lucy, Daisy, Charlie, Tucker, Coco, Zoe, Zerpy, Lurpy, Furpy, Chirpy, Burpy, Derpy, Derpy Jr. Oh, it's so sad. Oliver, Bob, Shadow, Christopher. Shadzi. What? All these like really normal pet names and then Shatsu. Das Shatsi. What does Shatsi mean? Shadow. You can guarantee that was a black cat, can't you?
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
A memorial. Molly has a cat. Calvin has the spaceship. Sven a saw. Edie a book. Walter is a little man in a cave. And Barbara a star. That's nice. It's emotional.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Ah, the house that didn't make it. The music is beautiful. I have this on vinyl, the soundtrack, I'm pretty sure.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
I think I bought it. I went on a bit of a rampage for a period there and I can't fully remember all of the soundtracks that I have, but I'm planning to set up a little vinyl area where I'm going to sit and listen to them and have them on display, so I'll be able to confirm. Just need to find the time. Is that it here? Do I go back now? We're done looking at the house. How weird to have a house on the water there.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand.
Done statues here. I mean, grief, it's a very funny thing, and it's one of those things that for a lot of people and cultures it can be quite difficult to talk about and to get through and to get over, but what's kind of silly about that is that it's something, in a way, that if you're lucky to be around for long enough, you will experience. Many of you will have already experienced it, unless you're quite young. Something that comes to us all, unless we're the one that people grieve quickly. And somehow it's still kind of difficult for us to be open about it.
But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Gregory and Gus. This chapter here, like walking through here, is so beautiful and such a wonderful interlude between the stories. Like, this is absolutely perfect.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Sanjay and Lewis. So all Finches and then Sanjay Kumar. Adopted? Feeling all the things.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
I mean, this place is pretty unsafe and there's a family curse. I don't think your mum would have wanted this for you, but I guess we'll find out. You live in very dangerously right now.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Yeah. I wonder if the baby is kind of a protection charm against all this silliness. There it is, our baby bump. We're prego. Pregonante. Where are we going? We're going in here? Going up here? There's a ladder.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Just to finish our thoughts on that previous conversation, you know, I feel like if anyone's going through it currently, really what I've learned through my life about grief, and that can be for everything that you've, from a pet to the most important person in your life, is that you have to make space for it, and you truly, like, not even trying to sound cheesy or cringe, have to accept that it will forever be a part of you, and that there's like a beauty in that and making it a part of you. Because at least for me, my experience of it is that it's all of it, even the pets that I've loved and lost many years ago have never left me, and I could talk to you about them now and get emotional. And it's like never going to be something that you fully get over. It's something that you make space for and live with and move on from in that way, that you carry it with you. And I feel like the sooner you stop trying to take it off of you like it's an anchor, like it's a weight, and instead you just carry it in your heart and the person with it, that's when it gets a little bit lighter. It's always there, you know, and that's okay. It's a tax for this beautiful life we live. And as Winnie the Pooh says, how lucky am I to have a thing that made saying goodbye so difficult.
They were both pretty intense.
A bear rug? They got what they deserved.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
I'm afraid of cameras too. Sam. Is this our granddad?
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm?
And this is our mum.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged. Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it?
Taking snaps. What a cool way of doing this chapter.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit.
Dawn just wanted to read her book. Look at her. Just a little nerdy bookworm.
Okay, got it.
Dad's dragging her
I'm
out
gonna take some
hunting.
pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
Oh, Father, where art thou?
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
What are we looking for? A bird.
Aw.
Cute. Another thing that you realize the older you get is how cool birds are, and you will start to want to know what the birds are. It's another little age marker, is when you start taking an interest in birds and actually learning about them. You're like, oh no, it's happened. I'm a bird guy now. What do you want me to take a picture of? Am I looking for the...
Not have drunk
Oh.
all that coffee.
Dad
Still while I take a picture of you.
peeing.
I definitely won't be moving.
Are you...
Hey!
That's a keeper.
Nothing quite like being outside. I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
I hear the bird. Is it here somewhere?
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn.
Take a picture of the bird though. A deer.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
A stag. I love deer.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination.
Oh,
Focus on your target.
okay. Can we not? Where is it?
Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong.
Oh no.
Now keep yourself squared up, elbows down, like we practiced. Whenever you're ready.
You don't have to do it, Dawn. What if I take a picture of her instead? No.
Great shot, Dawn!
Oh, it actually made me jump. You're a jerk. He's taking a selfie with it like a absolute goober.
I'm proud of you, Dawn.
Even though I
remember
knew
that,
that happened, it still made me cry. Oh, that's made me really emotional for some reason.
Sorry, Dawn. Just gotta reset the timer.
This goober. I hate hunting.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about.
Dad!
Imagine having that photo though, goodness. The timing of it.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
So that's what happened to our mum's dad, our granddad. Gonna be honest, kinda deserved. It made me very emotional because it's just I have a real issue with it. Like, I understand it for people who do it to eat and stuff, and it's like, you know, I'm not gonna judge, but especially, like, I will say game hunting, like, I just have no respect for it in the slightest at all. The thought of wanting to kill something for a hobby or fun or enjoyment, it's abhorrent to me. I actually turned down, there was a sponsorship for a hunting game that they wanted me to do, and I was like, I morally cannot promote it, you know. Ah, the goose, the stuffed goose, my sweet boy. All this stuff here. But you know, I grew up in a animal-loving, animal activist household, so that's kind of my view of the world and my experience.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Other people have had different stuff, you know. I wouldn't like have an issue with someone, but personally, no thank you. And I would encourage anyone that perhaps is into that to maybe consider a different path, especially if you're just doing it for game. You take up bowling, you know. Alright, let's go through here. I feel like we're in a spaceship.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
So then she got close with the mum. It's just like a nursery. Gregory, Dawn, and Gus. But it looks like a military barracks, and there's even that stuff on, there's military stuff on the walls. And lockers. What's with that? Divorce contract, Sam Finch. The marriage of Kay to Sam.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
I laugh when I'm on my own, but it's kind of like a Joker laugh. I just kind of like do it for fun. And I'm convinced that someday, like, I'll be doing it in the kitchen and the postman's gonna like put something through, or knock on the door, you know. It's going to be embarrassing.
I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
I do too. I'm a baby in a bath. How do I get rid of this out of my hands? Come on, little Gregory. Give the frog. There you go. Swim it around. Boink. Are you a frog fan? Some people really
It's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie.
Yes, Mummy.
Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
The divorced father
I wonder what he saw.
is calling.
What his world was like.
Do we really know what babies' brains are like and what they're thinking? Do we have any idea? Duckies, duckies,
Reminded me
duckies.
So much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination.
The swan babies are still there, pretty late this year.
Whatever it was he saw.
Ah. Oh, that's so cool. Launch me. There's some more up there. How do we get those ones? Come on. Higher, higher, higher.
It sure made him happy.
Maybe we can get it off of this. Gotta turn it up right. Come on. Got him. Get some more, get some more, get some more. So cute. There's a little guy up there. Okay, now we get the bubble bath. How magical
How silly it sounds.
were baths as a kid.
That I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw.
Oh no.
There's so much I don't understand about Gregory. About everything.
Went for a swim.
But I know what happened wasn't your fault.
Of course not. Accident.
I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
I mean, having the bubble bath in the memorial is a bit much. Don't know if I'd want to see that again. He is 1 year old. Little insensitive whoever put this little memorial together. I know he loved a bath, didn't he? Here's some bubble bath and his favourite bath whale. Thanks. Just what I want to be reminded of. Gregory. There's Dawn's. That's where our mum slept. There's no mattress on the bed, and Gus was a skateboarder.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
And a punk.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea.
Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard.
Oh my god, flying a
Before
kite.
the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Flying a kite as a kid, also such a magical experience. Why don't we fly kites anymore? Anyone want to go out and fly a kite with me?
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom were the words that I remember.
Side note, there's no chance you'd let a kid fly a kite like this at a wedding over people's heads. You know it's gonna dink someone, right? Where are we going? Ah.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger.
He gave him the bird.
Panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Storm.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Lucky you're a girl then. So he got hit by a placebo that was picked up in the storm. Damn. 69 to 82. He was 12? Right? 13. Sorry. Like I said, maths. Sealed up. Emergency evacuation. House rules. No playing outside without permission. No answering the door for strangers. No mess after dark. Oh, is this like... are we seeing Final Destination style what happened? And like this is how they were kept in their room. And like to keep them safe. And they just had these lockers and house rules and an evacuation path and an individual light for each of them. Is that what we're seeing? What was this poem here? Card. When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Deepest sympathy. Condolence cards. Raise flag, breakfast, quiet time, dawn, Gus, Greg, chores. Greg's chore is be a baby. Jump rope, jumping jacks, push-ups. Why are we like at boot camp?
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Oh yeah, those were both her brothers. That's sad.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
So this was our mum's spot. She brought a lot of colour up here. And went to India. Oh, Sanjay. Her husband.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Ah, that's our dad. I thought it was another brother. That's cool. 10 ways to teach critical thinking. 1987, fly to India. Dawn Finch. Okay.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English.
Mum doing a little living, a little
Lewis was born
traveling.
a year later.
In her Eat, Pray, Love era, okay.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
Got little gardens here. Wow, this is a beautiful loft area. Oh my gosh. I would do unspeakable
The house had
things.
to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
Alright, well that interrupted me. I wasn't saying I would do unspeakable things up here. The full sentence was I would do unspeakable things to live here, okay? Jesus. Oh. Game did me so dirty then.
And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Homeschooled. Interesting. This is where the school is. I was having a conversation about homeschooling recently, and my view on homeschooling has changed to the point where I was like, do you know what? Like, actually, I feel like homeschooled kids probably miss out on so much in terms of being sheltered and having, like, you've got to really make an effort with socialization, I think, and play dates and all the rest of it. But this is where I landed on it during this conversation, was that kid, I feel like those kids are probably like more, they're like happier and more themselves, probably more creative. Because I feel like so much of that energy is actually what school takes away from you. And I'm not talking about teaching, I'm talking about other kids that are like, oh, you like this thing? No, that's not cool. What's cool is this. You need to do this thing. You're cringe. And everything else that kids say to each other when things are different, right? So in that respect, where I landed on it was I think homeschooling makes really interesting individuals that are truly kind of more themselves. But I say this as someone who hasn't been homeschooled, doesn't know anyone who was homeschooled, and doesn't have kids. So, you know, that's just my completely dumb take on it. That's just an opinion. But I'm sure for some people it goes terribly wrong. What's your thoughts on homeschooling? Let everyone know in a comment below. I definitely won't start a fight. Reading is a hoot. Well, if you like reading, have I got a podcast for you? That's Down to Sleep on Spotify and everywhere you get podcasts, as well as YouTube to listen to me read you a bedtime story and tuck you in. It's the best podcast around. Okay, let's check out this school. To teach and to learn. Also, I think if you are going to homeschool, you have to do a lot of practical method in teaching rather than trying to teach them like you're in a classroom. You're not going to stand up there in front of your kid and be like, here's, you know, let's look at the map. You're actually going to travel. You're going to go to the zoo when you do biology, you know? Relief effort ends in disaster. Hundreds of relief volunteers injured or dead. Is this what happened to our dad?
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Milton.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Oh, and it says 1992 to blank because he went missing. I like the name Milton. This is a cool room. This room looks
I
like
think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
it's a Easter egg homage to their other game, right? Because it's all in this like monochrome white style, like this. What a cool little painting area. I'm terrible at art, but painting is so fun. And drawing and stuff.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Flip book. I loved flip books as a kid. Wait, keep doing it. Do it again. Painted himself a door and left through it. Wow, that's his story. He just painted a door and went.
Milton disappeared.
So Milton is our brother of Sanjay and Dawn. And he just what's the theory of what happened to Milton? What's on this newspaper? Extra, extra. Turning point in history. There's nothing really readable there. Students take note. Was that flip book kind of symbolic of him, you know? You know what I mean?
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
There's the door. So he painted that and then left, and we can see his footprints. He went up after painting it. Was there more footprints up here? There's a footprint. I mean, there's yellow paint on here. He was throwing paint around. And there's the door. Interesting.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Such a beautiful night. Oh man, someone going missing has to be like even harder than knowing, right? You just like, that's tough to move on from, honestly. It's like it's a mystery, and humans just, they need to know. They need mysteries solved. Even if we invent the answer ourselves, they need to fill in the pattern and know what happened. You can't have like open loops in our brain. So quite literally, like, that's like something that can drive you crazy. To never know.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself.
I wonder if there's like a secret to seeing more footprints. Whether he went off the roof or something.
After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room.
until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
So Lewis locked himself away, got depressed. So they're all also kind of like, I bet if you looked into the theories of representing like different kind of disorders and mental health stuff. Depression, agoraphobia, the eating, artist. I love how we just listed artist like it's a disorder. If you are one, you understand, don't you?
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Familiar. Naughty girl. Why are you going back out? I didn't tell you to do that. Go back in. Got his little video games in here. His high school diploma on the wall. The contents of his locker.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Even he had a little pet in a tank. They loved their pets, didn't they? There's some paraphernalia in here.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Working in a fish factory.
He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself.
Cannery, that's what I said.
In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to
wander.
I asked him to describe it.
Now, to describe what's actually happening here for you watching or even just listening, since actually you can't tell, is the right hand of me working in this cannery is controlled by my mouse, and actually what's happening as a vision on the left-hand side of the screen is controlled with WASD. So whilst I'm doing this with the fish, I'm also moving this character with my left hand.
Imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first.
Look at how the daydream's getting bigger, taking over the screen.
He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
This is so
Built
cool.
the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. and songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
I hum a lot.
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished.
You've got to dissociate to get through the day.
He held an election for mayor. And he won.
Mario.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Love a good daydream, me.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on.
Now we're sailing a boat.
New Louisville.
All while still doing the cannery job.
St. Louis.
I mean, anyone who's worked a boring job knows you find any way to pass the time.
From our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a...
It's a beautiful prince.
Beautiful prince.
Look at these colours. I don't think I came this way the first time. I want to see what it is.
The prince was on his own quest for...
Let's do rainbows.
Radiant rainbows.
Nice. Ah. Starboard. Port. Stern to bow.
He followed the sound of his...
Let's go silver harp.
Silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
Couldn't have imagined a more interesting tune.
Even then, his logic remained sound.
Yes, that rhymed.
He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Oh my god, we're almost like in third-person view now.
He's so proud of having created it.
It's completely taking over his world.
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
I've just to pause for a second, I've always loved this game, and remember I had forgotten how exactly of a masterpiece this was. Of storytelling. Amazing.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
his life. At his locker.
He began to forget the world we know.
Oh my god, what a miserable place to work.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Completely lost his mind.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
These characters are kind of giving Sky Children of the Light.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
Our cat?
His prince waited, holding his crown.
Do they have this game in VR? It'd be so cool in virtual reality.
There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Put his head in the machine.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
I kind of felt also like he went on the conveyor belt up and out the window, but then that guillotine was kind of really telling us that he popped his little head in there, you know? So he completely got, like, detached from the realities and his imagination. And did that, I guess, to go live off in the dream world. I mean, some of these really aren't the family curse, they're just the family trauma, right? Things not being dealt with, difficult conversations not being had.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing.
Ah, so that's what happened, and then this when we all left, okay.
She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
I've actually got a movie channel now where I like analyze and explain movies, and this is the first time I've played a game since I started that channel where I'm like, I want to do an explained on this game. A lore video, which I know loads of people do. Well, some people do gaming lore videos. It's not like it's a massive niche or anything, but I've never had any interest in doing that. But now I do a movie channel where I do it. I'm like, oh, I could do that with games too, for sure. I love doing it with movies though. Links in the description if you want to join me. Just do 1 or 2 videos a month for films or TV shows that I love.
I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
So is this where I lived? Edith and Mum? The tippy top.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
It's like the house itself and our positions in it represents the family tree also. With us being at the top. As we've ascended, it's literally like we're climbing the family tree. Which makes you wonder how much of this is symbolic and how much is real. Disaster relief. This was our dad. Sanjay. Oh, and Mum wrote this book to teach and to learn. O God, you've called your servants to ventures of which we cannot see the ending, by paths as yet untrodden, through perils unknown. Give us faith to go out with good courage, not knowing where we go, but only that your hand is leading us and your love supporting us through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Prayer emoji in the chat. I rewatched Midnight Mass, and I feel like I'd do a really good job of being that priest of like a small island, you know?
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
Bar. Toddy bar.
But it had to end one way or another.
So
All
what
that's
happened?
left now was to tell you about that last night.
Okay. I legit don't really remember, so I'm pretty... This is what's good about having a bad memory. Some stuff I remember vividly. People I care about, conversations I've had, stuff like that. Other times my memory is awful. I mean, I haven't played this through in a while, but other than like the iconic scenes, which you kind of get refreshed in clips fairly often that pop up, I don't know what's about to happen, so that's cool. Norwegian folktale books. Okay, we love a folktale, we love a fairy tale. Alright, alright. Some weird little papier-mâché dudes around here. It's all getting a little bit hereditary, huh? This is our brother. And Edith is me. We got the boots. With a quill.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Okay. So only me, Mum, and Grandma, the 3 generations of women.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
Left.
When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
But what happened to Grandma? God, imagine having a library.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Huh. So why would she think that the kids would be dead because of the stories? Because of self-fulfilling prophecies? Because of depression? Because of trauma? Generational trauma? So Grandma did her own book, History of the Finches by Edith Finch.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around.
Was Grandma a ghost this whole time?
I started seeing things.
The deer. It's fine. We don't have to cry. It survived.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends.
That's the bed we saw out there, isn't it?
That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
So this is the house that was lost on the way from Norway.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again.
Ah.
The next
Great-Grandma.
morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot.
I'm
We
controlling.
both tried to make the best of it.
Did you do this as a kid?
A few years went by.
Or like running with a little,
My mom
like,
didn't like to talk about it,
two-finger leg man?
but she started getting sick a lot.
Oh
The
no.
rest happened pretty quickly.
Ah.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't.
That's so sad.
And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
She died giving birth. was us being born. Wow. So we were the child visiting the grave of our mum. And then reliving, like, the entire story through our mum's writings, and that's why we were pregnant whilst we walked around and explored the book that she wrote for us, but really it was the kid, I guess, ferrying over and reading the book that his mum wrote for him, and reading it, because they all died, and he's the last one left. And that's what remains of Edith Finch, because it's the book that she wrote. It's all that remains, and of all the Finches. And I guess we're left to wonder whether the curse is lifted, or if it still is going to follow us as the new kid. And what it all means, and what could have happened in the house that was under the ocean, I feel like is maybe representative of, like, the past and the history and the trauma, and great-grandma was trying to share that story, and the curse is really whatever happened in that house before leaving for here. And that's why it was there in the water all this time, you know, figuratively and literally in the story. But really it represented whatever happened in that house, the story we didn't get to finish reading that night, the trauma half buried in the water, in the place that you tried to run away to. And how somehow that becomes a curse on the family. The things, I guess, that people don't talk about, the difficult conversations and things that people could never get over, seem to lead to all of their ways of going. So what do you think was the worst one, the saddest one, most tragic one? Drop it in a comment. Or which one did you like best? I felt like the saddest one, I mean, the hunting one made me cry, but actually the saddest one was the mum. Is the, you know, cancer or whatever, is like all of those tragic deaths. Somehow that one's the saddest, because you know it was really sucky and a fight, dragged out, you know. Also the most real. At least the others were pretty quick, for the most part. Absolute masterpiece of storytelling, the symbolism and the way that things are done, and the mechanics of making it a game, and the way that, like, the cannery level is so brilliant as a way of telling that story. And it stays fresh because every story is different and has its little influences and different ways of doing it, different gameplay loop for each story. Really a special game. I've always loved it, and I've always said it's like one of my favorites, but you kind of forget how good it is, and then you go back and you experience it again. And you go, wow. One of the best story games of all time, for sure. Absolutely for sure. It's got everything that I love. Great story, emotional, bittersweet. It's my favorite flavor. And it's a very special game. So let me know how much you like it, what you thought of it, and your favorite parts and theories. Let me know those theories in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you thought of this one in a comment below, and if you need some more sleepy materials, there are some videos to click on the screen, or go to the podcast Down to Sleep on Spotify, YouTube, and everywhere you get podcasts. You are always welcome to check out all of my content, including my channel where I talk about movies. I yap about them over there, so you'd probably fall asleep to that as well, wouldn't you? This game was just as special as I remembered it, even maybe more so, because I'm older now and things hit different when you get to these old ages, darling. So let me know what you thought, and I will see you in the next one. This series will continue. Until next time, good night.